What's up, everyone? We are back again with another new comic book day, and this week was huge. A lot of major titles were released, and Image dropped a brand new series called The Scumbag. So keep watching this video to hear what I think about this week's books and my reviews on them, and stick around to the end to see which issue was my top choice of the week and which one I know you need to be investing in, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. AR Comics here, and today I'm going to be going over all of the issues that I picked up for New Comic Book Day, October 21st, 2020. But before I get into that, if you are new to the channel, welcome. I drop weekly comic book content that includes upcoming book releases, speculation videos, unboxings and comic book hauls, and New Comic Book Day reviews. So if that sounds like something you don't want to miss out on, make sure you hit the subscribe button down low and the little bell to get notified every time I drop new content. You won't regret it. And now, without further ado, let's get started on the reviews. So to be honest, I was really looking forward to this week's New Comic Book Day. So many of these issues are my current ongoings, and I was just really looking forward to reading them. However, because I had a big stack today, I had to put back a few issues. I ended up putting back Marvel's X number 6 out of 6. I know, it's the final issue, why not get it? But it's been dragged out for so many months now, I've just lost so much interest in it, and I kind of don't really care how it ends. Another one I put back was Batman 101. I haven't read anything prior, and I know a lot of you are saying, read Batman. I'm waiting for some hardcovers. I know they just recently released a new one for the last arc, so I'm going to pick that up at some point. And the final one that I'm really disappointed in is I couldn't find Miles to Go number 2. I didn't see it, so that sucks. But I did get 10 other issues to go over with you guys today. They are all in order. So for this week, coming in at number 10, we have Iron Man number 2. This is cover A, and honestly, I did not like this issue at all. I really liked the first issue. It felt like it had purpose and direction, and I liked that it was a brand new ongoing series. To me, this one felt nothing like that. This issue kind of started off a little different, and it's not exactly how I was expecting it to. It had a little bit of Arcade, the Absorbing Man, and then the rest of the issue was just kind of dealing with Tony Stark and his own inner problems. It's pretty much, is it him or is it Iron Man? Can they coincide with each other? And I just really wasn't feeling it. I didn't like the way the story was going. I am going to give this one more issue before I make my final decision, but as of now, I think I am going to be pulling this off my list. I'm just not really digging it. So now we have coming in at number 9, Venom 29. This is the Ryan Stegman variant, and I know what you're thinking. How did Venom come in so low on your list? But I've got to say, I thought this issue was so boring. I kept asking, why was this an entire issue? Why did we need this? And I just did not like it. I'm very over Virus. I'm over that whole side plot. And in my opinion, there was no reason that this had to be a whole issue of its own. This could have been explained over the course of the last few issues, maybe over the next couple issues. I did like how we saw Annie's side of things and how Dylan kind of destroyed their whole world, but it just really didn't need an entire issue of its own. Now, I'm not sure what's going on, but I really haven't enjoyed a lot of the last few Donny Cates' issues between Venom and Thor. I don't know. I hope it's not a turn for the worse. I'm hoping it gets better. I know it will. He's made all this other good stuff. But until that time comes, this issue, in my opinion, was a massive flop. So now we have coming in at number 8, we have Daredevil number 23, the beautiful Alex Ross Timeless variant. I love this cover. I think it's so gorgeous. I love it just as much as the Spider-Man one I picked up, I think, last week or the week before that. But overall, I do enjoy these stories. I love Chip Zdarsky's work on Daredevil so far, but I do think this is my last issue I'm going to be grabbing. I might finish out the arc. There's probably another issue or two, but it just never feels like anything is happening. Every time I read an issue, I blow through it, and it's like, oh, nothing happened again. So far, we're 23 issues deep, and nothing really has happened. Nothing important, no new characters, and there's just nothing that's really building up this story to me. It's just issue after issue, arc after arc, and then it's kind of forgotten about in the past. Nothing is like remaining solid throughout this series, and this one's kind of doing the same thing. We're still going through Daredevil's trial. He's going to prison probably at some point, but we already know he's going to get out of that. This is just the way it goes. And I think I'm just going to get this eventually when it comes out in a hardcover. In my opinion, I think that's probably the best way to read this series, is just consecutively right after another, because nothing really does happen in a lot of these, and I just honestly forget what's going on. So overall, it's not a bad series, and this was not a bad issue, but I just don't think it's for me. I'd much rather just read it in a hardcover. Up next, we have Stillwater, number 2, cover A, another one by Chip Zdarsky. I love this series so far. I was really looking forward to it. It's this brand new horror ongoing. And this one was slightly boring in my opinion, but we did get a lot more info about the whole city of Stillwater as a whole, what really goes on there, and the people themselves. And I thought it was so cool. I don't really know how they're going to turn this into an ongoing, because if you are reading it, you'll know that they kind of can't leave Stillwater. They have to remain there. They can't tell other people about it. And I just don't know where he's going to go with this story. But that's a good thing. Zdarsky's keeping us on our toes. He wants us to think about things. And I like it. I recommend this one to everybody. Check out Stillwater. It's just in time for Halloween. And next up on my list, coming in at number 6, we have the Amazing Spider-Man 50 Last Remains Part 1, whatever you want to call it. It's like this new side plot while the main run is still going on. I really enjoyed this issue. I like how it kind of picked up where the last one left off. It just led into this whole side plot. I don't really know where the main one's going to go at this point, but I'm digging Kindred. I like what he did with like the whole Spider-Man family. I think this whole little mini arc, whatever you want to call it, is going to be awesome. They brought back Norman Osborn. He's kind of going through therapy and all that good stuff. He wants to make amends. I'm not going to spoil who Kindred is. I'm not sure if this should be deemed as a bigger issue because they do finally say Kindred's name, who he actually is, and I don't think they specifically said his name in the last issue. So if you're keeping up, maybe it's a big spec book. I highly doubt it, but at least now for sure we know who Kindred actually is in this issue. You should pick it up. I thought it was fantastic. So now we are down to my top 5 issues of the week. What do you guys think so far? I think Marvel really dropped the ball in my opinion. A lot of these issues weren't very good. They were boring. They just felt slow. Not for me. But before you do ask, I did not get any X-Men. I'm not caught up. I am going to wait for a big omnibus or a hardcover. Last thing I read was House and Powers of X. I did like it. I didn't read any of Dawn of X, and I haven't read any Ten of Swords, so at some point I will grab it. But coming in at number 5 on my list for you indie lovers, we have Family Tree number 9 by Jeff Lemire. This is probably one of my favorite ongoings right now. I love this series. Jeff Lemire has been doing incredible work on this, and if you can recall from my video on Sunday, I did say I think this could be a good start point for some of you guys who haven't read any of it, and I'm sticking to that. Despite it being a brand new arc and a whole new thing, they did give a nice little decent backstory about what led up to this whole end of the world. And you will be slightly lost. You won't really know the characters all too well, but you'll know what happened, what led up to it, and where we are now. Despite the whole world kind of ended and the trees are taking over, we got to see that there are still other people out there, and I think this arc and this whole series is just incredible. I can't wait to see where he goes with this. And now for my DC guys out there, I did not forget about you. I almost did not pick this book up, and I'm so happy I did. We have The Dark Knight's Death Metal Robin King one-shot. I loved it. It was so good. I'm so happy I picked it up. This is definitely my favorite issue of the entire run so far, over the one-shots, tie-ins, even the main run. This was the best one. I really enjoyed seeing the Robin King and like his whole backstory and what he's kind of been doing this entire time since they initially showed him off in that one issue, whatever one that was. We saw him on his world, how he met the Batman Who Laughs. He brought him into his world, what he did to him, and how he kind of survived while still being part of the Batman Who Laughs team. So overall, I thought this was a great issue. If you're not reading it, this I think was the one that you missed out on. If you pick up any of them, pick up the one that has the Robin King's first appearance and this one. Super enjoyable. You should check it out. So now we are down to my final 3 issues of the week. Coming in at number 3, we have Gideon Falls number 26. I love this series so far. This issue was fantastic. This series is coming to an end in December. I'm going to be sad, but it's been a fun ride so far. This issue, kind of like the last one, they're kind of done explaining things, and all the main characters are spread across all different Gideon Falls, like different worlds or dimensions, whatever they're in, and they're just working to come back together. I think this one kind of showed them come back together or see that they were coming back together, but I cannot wait to see what he does with this final issue. It's going to be an oversized, I don't know if it's going to be an 80-pager, but it's going to be a big issue, and I think they're going to do a great job on it. You need to check out Gideon Falls. Next up, coming in at number 2, we have Something is Killing the Children 11. This is the beautiful Jenny Friesen cover. I loved it. This issue was a little bit slower compared to the last few. The last ones had a lot more action, a lot more killing. We got to see the monsters. They were running rampant through the town. But this one slowed the pace down a little bit. We saw the House Slaughter side of things. We got to see their higher-ups. They were making calls. They were getting pissed off about what's going on and how the people they sent out either weren't doing their job or they got killed, and they need to take matters in their own hands. They're sending out a whole team to this town. I don't know what they're going to do to this town, but I cannot wait to see where they go with this for issue 12. And if it's not issue 12, because that might be another one of those build-ups, issue 13 is going to be huge. So I'm really looking forward to this. James Tynion has killed it so far, no pun intended. You need to read this series. It's going to be on Netflix at some point. I think they have one trade paperback out right now, maybe two, but check it out. And now we have, coming in at number 1, my favorite read of the week, we have Image's brand new The Scumbag. This is cover A, and what an incredible issue. I cannot believe I almost didn't grab this. Thank you, all my subscribers and people who comment, said just pick it up, just grab it. Because of you, I did get it, and I loved it. This main character literally is a scumbag. He's a drug addict, an alcoholic, nobody. Literally just a nobody. And he's out on the street one day during one of his drug binges, and he finds a syringe and basically injects himself with superpowers, and now he's tasked to save the world. I love this issue. I cannot wait to see where the rest of this series goes. It was funny. The artwork grew on me. I didn't really like it at first, which was why I probably wasn't going to get it, but it fit perfectly well with the story. Make sure you pick this up. I know a lot of people are talking about it right now. So now, The Scumbag was my top choice of the week, my favorite read. I absolutely loved it, but my top investment choice of the week, I'm going to have to go with Something is Killing the Children, number 11. I can't recommend this series enough to everybody. All the prices are skyrocketing for this, and I'm not really too sure, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that this had first appearances in it. All those higher-ups from House Slaughter, I don't think we've ever seen them before, and they had names. So this could be a big issue. I would look into getting it, maybe look into it a little bit more if these actually were first appearances. But either way, these issues are always going up in price. People are buying them up like no one's business. And plus, it's a great read, so it's like a win-win. You're getting a nice spec book and a fantastic read book. And another spec book that I didn't pick up, so it obviously wasn't my first choice, was Fantastic Four number 25. I talked to the guys at the shop, and they said the same thing. It is supposed to be a very big issue, and a lot of people were buying it up. They think it is going to be a nice modern key for the foreseeable future. Check it out. But as far as my list goes, this is my top investment choice of the week. So now it's your turn. What did you guys think of the issues this week? Were they good? Not so good? Let me know down below in the comments section what your top choice of the week was and your top investment choice, because I love talking spec with you guys. And I know I don't thank you guys enough, but everybody that's been supporting me, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I've got to say, if you are in the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania, make sure you check out Encounters Comics. Fantastic group of dudes. They have everything that you could ever look for. On the bus, new comics, Magic the Gathering, toys, pop figures, you name it, they got it. That is my go-to place every time I visit home. But thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And if you don't want to miss out on any of my upcoming content, hit the subscribe button down low and the little bell to get notified. Every time I drop new content, you won't regret it. And I've got 2 more videos of my comic book content off to the side here. Click on one of those and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.